Chapter 5, Nina. We make it back to the house and Dominic heads to the kitchen to start dinner. He insisted that he didn't need my help. I head back to the room I'm staying in. I pull my laptop out and open my social media account. Scrolling through, a message comes in and I don't recognize the profile picture staring back at me. But I check the message anyway. To my horror, there are pictures of me in various states of undress and one where I'm completely nude in the shower. The message reads, "Keep talking to the cops and I'll make sure everyone in town knows what kind of dirty slut you are." Now I seriously don't know what to do. If I go to the police station, then he will post these pictures. But then for all I know, they've already been posted everywhere. I really am between a rock and a hard place. Without the proper context, people will think I posed for these pictures. This is complete coercion. If these pictures get out, then I will for sure have to leave Aurora Vista and never come back. At this moment, I want to deactivate all of my social media accounts. Maybe I should tell Dominic, but I don't want him to see the pictures. I take my laptop back into the kitchen and sit down in a bar stool along the island. I have a problem. Dominic is at the stove cooking. He doesn't turn around to look at me. What kind of problem? Probably thinking I'm going to balk at his previous demands or that I changed my mind about something we discussed earlier. When I hesitate to respond, he then turns to face me and repeats his question. What kind of problem, Nina? I turn the laptop so that he can see the screen. It takes a few seconds for him to register what he's looking at. He pulls it closer and says, "Where did these come from?" I shrug and say, "Looks like from the privacy of my home." He reads the accompanying message, then minimizes the screen. "Have you had any maintenance men at the house recently? Any kind of work done? Any reason for someone to be in the house for any extended time frame?" The pictures look like they were taken at different times of the day, and my outfits or lack thereof are all different. Whoever took the photos has been watching me for a while. It's a rental home, and the only time I know that someone has been in to do maintenance was right before I moved in. Is it possible the maintenance worker has a master key and let himself in, installed cameras, and then was the one who raped me? I need to get a hold of my landlord and find out who did the work. It's absolutely plausible. If I go to the police, then he said he would release the photos. I will be humiliated. Talk about adding insult to injury. The townsfolk will know I was raped and think that I somehow caused it. I wouldn't ever allow nude photos of myself. You see how I dress. Modest, covering everything up. I know that you wouldn't do that. The people that matter also know that you wouldn't do that. The photos are clearly taken when you weren't expecting them. Not like you're posing or anything. They're at a higher angle or like the camera is hidden behind something else. Towels, air vents, plants. Any sane person will see that. I will talk to Scott and see if he can get a team over there to check your place out. If the photos are leaked, then we will deal with it together. This isn't your fault, and I'm not going to allow some sicko to tarnish your reputation. If people in this town have a problem, they can deal with me. That makes me feel better knowing that you believe me. He walks around the island to pull me into another hug, and I hug him right back. I love how affectionate he is, something I desperately need. I should probably feel like shrinking away from his touch, withdrawing into myself, but with Dominic it's different. He's making me realize that it's okay to rely on other people. He isn't out to hurt me. He only wants to help me. We will get through this together. I hope he means together. In such a short amount of time, he has proven time and again how much he wants to be here for me. I think I will just have to let him. I welcome it. I never needed anything more in my whole life than what he is freely offering. I don't know where this boldness came from, but I say, you really are a catch, Dominic. How have you stayed single this long? I laugh. Who says I stayed single? I was engaged once, and things didn't work out for me. She didn't work out for me. She's doing just fine with my ex-best friend back in Texas. Taking over the business here couldn't have come at a better time. See how things work out? Even in the worst of situations? If I was still with her, you and I wouldn't have met. and you'd probably be dealing with this on your own. I'm sorry to hear that. Don't be. She was cheating on me for years, with more than one person. I heard there's still a question about whether or not one of their kids is really my ex-best friend's. I'm glad I found out about it before the marriage. That's awful for everyone involved, especially that innocent child. Yeah, it is, but I'm over it. She left me free to pursue other things. I have a job I love and surrounded by people that respect me in the community. Now, if I can just find a good woman, then my life will be complete. That most likely won't happen, and I've been single for so long that I feel like it's just not in the cards for me. Never say never. It could be just right around the bend. You just never know. I'm right here, a little broken at the moment, but I hope to be on the mend. With you here, it might be a faster road to recovery for both of us. A girl can dream, right? What if this relationship could turn into something amazing for the two of us? I wouldn't fight it. In fact, I would welcome it. It could be healing for both of us. When you find the one, your whole world opens up. You can face whatever challenges come your way, knowing that someone has your back. The world is a brighter place, knowing that they are in it. We have someone to share your dreams, goals, and aspirations with. You have someone to travel life's journey with. Then there's the added benefit of bringing children into the relationship. I still want children, and up to this point, I didn't think there was a possibility. I would gladly welcome babies into my life, just need to find the right man. Hint, hint. I haven't written the whole idea off. In my line of work, I meet women all the time. However, I have never invited them to stay with me. You're the first and hopefully the last. I know we met under difficult circumstances. Honestly, if it hadn't been for this situation, we may have never met. I rarely go out, and unless you had come into the range on your own, I probably wouldn't ever known you existed. That's a terrible idea. And he is right. I rarely go out either, and until this situation, I never would have considered going to the range. But he's also right about even in bad times, things can work out for the good. At the time, things may look bleak, like you can't see your way out of it. Then you can meet someone and your whole world changes. He releases me, and I immediately miss him. I want to reach out for him again, but I hold back. It may be just my emotional state, the need to seek comfort from wherever I can get it. I need to rein that impulse in. Only take what he is giving. Not push, not expect anything from him. At least I'm not alone, even if it's only for a night or two. He said I could stay for as long as I need. I plan to take him up on that for a little while. He walks back to the stove and works on dinner. He pulls out his cell phone and dials a number and puts the phone on speaker so that I can hear the conversation. This is Scott Jenkins. Dominic is calling him like he said that he would. Scott, it's Dominic. I need you to send someone over to Nina's house and check for cameras. She received a message from someone with some pictures that appear to have been taken from inside her home. They're of a sensitive nature. What are we talking about here? How sensitive? Can you send them to me? Scott asked. That's not happening. The less people that see these, the better. The guy is threatening to release them if she talks to the police. Looks like someone put hidden cameras in her house. The bathroom, bedroom. That should tell you what kind of pictures we're talking about here. Where are you right now? Scott asked. Home, and Nina's right here with me. Dominic replies. I'll be there soon. If you can't send the photos, I need to see them in person. I shake my head at Dominic. I don't want anyone seeing them ever. I trust Dominic. That's the only reason why I let him see them with the accompanying message. Dominic says, hold on, Scott. And he puts the phone on mute. He says to me, he needs to see them if you want to find out who did this to you and who sent the message. He can't take pictures of them, and I'm not forwarding them. Okay? I won't let him take pictures of them. Maybe the Cyber Crimes Division can find out where the photos were sent from. If he's able to send someone, here to check it out. Will that work? Yes. He nods and unmutes the phone. Sorry about that, Scott. Nina will agree to have one person from the Cybercrime Division to come here to trace the IP address. She doesn't want photos taken of the message or have them forwarded via email. I know just the person to send over. Not that I don't trust the people in that department, however, I know one individual that is completely discreet and will just do the job without discussing it. I've had to use her on other cases, and she never discussed it with anyone else. I will call Katrina Watson when I hang up with you. Would that make you feel better, Nina? That it's a woman and has a reputation of being discreet with information? Dominic asked me. It makes me feel better that there won't be men looking at the pictures, even if they are doing their job. All the guys are professional, I can assure you. But I think you will love Katrina. She will find out where the message originated from, Scott tells me. Give me a few minutes to get her set up to come by, and I will meet her there. Thanks, Scott. We will be here. See you soon, Dominic tells him before hanging up. I'll text you in a bit. Bye. You need to eat this food before he gets here. You'll probably lose your appetite once he does get here. What happened earlier anyway? Dominic asked her, pulling plates out of the cabinet to serve the food on. It hit me wrong when he asked me what I was doing at the diner. And he waved his hand to get me to elaborate. It felt like he assumed I should be at home locked away. Give the guy a break. He's probably not used to someone that's been through what you've been through, being able to bounce back. I know you aren't 100% yet, but you'll get there. Maybe he assumed you would be too afraid to be out in public so soon. The only reason why I was out in public is because you asked me to meet at the diner. I could have come straight to the range, not that I regret meeting you at the diner. He puts 2 plates down, one for me and one for him on the island. I immediately recognize it, being a Texas girl and all. King casserole with a spinach salad. I pointed the plate and asked, Is this king casserole? Yes. I threw everything together while you were unpacking. It's one of my favorites. I love casseroles. Well, I did good then, he chuckles. Yes, you did. He has already outdone himself in more ways than one. He really is the most considerate person I've ever met since coming to this town. You really, really did.